Okay, but seriously, where are all the good guys? They have to be out there.
Oh, if I were 22 today, I would not be dating black men at all, unless they were older. They'd have to be real old because they're too feminine these days for me. I like masculine, go get them. I'm going to pay for that baby type men. Okay. Where you want to go on vacation type men. That's what I like. That's what I was brought up wanting. Okay. If I was 22 today, I wouldn't date black men. I'm sorry. Y'all take too long to get y'all stuff together. Y'all want us to pay half the bills and sleep with you? No, can't do that. So I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm not saying that other men are better than you. I'm just saying they're more ambitious than you. You know, yes, you can play basketball and football really good. You dominate the rap game, but the average non-famous black man has less ambition. Okay. So I like ambition. Ambition leads to success. Others have a financial head start. They are not more ambitious. That's not really true. You can't use that as an excuse. If you're ambitious, you don't need a head start. Okay? If you good, you don't need a head start. Think about it. Seriously. If you take black women and white women, they have the same chance of becoming more wealthy or doing better in life until they start dating a black man, because they pull them back down into poverty. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about black men because y'all know I'm married to one, but I made sure he had something going on. I made sure he had money, good credit, nice car, place to live that was in a very nice area before I agreed to even let him claim me. Those were the criteria, because I'm not wasting my time. Okay. So just think about it.
Okay, yes, let's think about this. I will say this. Most white men, especially prominent men, they are not interested in dating a lot of black women, okay? So before we throw the black men out the window, how many sisters do you really see with prominent white men? So I just want y'all to think about that. Of course, you might see them. You're going to see a few here and there. But we're going to talk about the majority.
Are you willing to submit to me from time to time? My TikToker Sheila True Love here with you. And this morning I want to talk about how hard it is for a woman to submit to a man who has no plan. Whatever, child. I get so sick and tired of men constantly harping and harping over this be submissive nonsense. They never, ever, ever talk about, what is it? Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21, submit to one another. And I'm just so sick of it. And the thing is, you have a lot of these men who realize that women are audio and they're starting to say the things that they know women want to hear. Derek Jackson, I rest my case.
What? Not Derek Jackson.
This dude had me fooled. And I'm good. But he had me fooled. I was like, what? Man, if I found an older version of Derek Jackson, I would have been, I don't want to get married. I'm a part of the 4B. I would have came up out of the 4B movement. For him, for something like him. And lo and behold, it was all a bunch of bullery, a bunch of pimp talk. Anyway, why some women struggle with submitting in relationships. Anytime you hear a man constantly talking about submit, that's an abusive man. Trust me. If he's not using the word submit, where we submit to one another, red flag, red light, run. Or when they come across, I'm an alpha male, run. Those are very abusive men who think they're hiding behind a mask. You ain't behind no mask with me, sweetheart. Go ahead and use that word submit and alpha and all that nonsense, whatever. Anyway.
That does not even make sense. And anybody that says sweetheart that hard is definitely not a feminine woman. Real talk.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
And you know what's wild about the whole situation? It's almost like as if people might find these women amusing. But in the reality, we've been told wrong. I mean, think about it. Look at the advice that we got from our our ancestors, our mothers, our aunties, they did not tell us the right things, right? So when these women come on here and these Derek Jacksons come on here, of all people to use as her example, it's almost like, come on now. You see our women, you see how a lot of us are living. So when you sit there and follow that craziness that is all over the internet, and you actually see your sisters, your aunties, your mamas, and you really cannot sit there and say, that's good or that's okay. Just because it makes you feel good don't mean it's a good thing. Like, real talk. I don't think people realize, like, when she's going on there and she's telling women to do this and do that, I mean, what is the outcomes? What is the outcomes? I'm looking at the outcomes, and it does not look like the outcomes is that great. So all I'm saying is, when you look at your Derek Jacksons, all the rhetoric that he was spewing out about how you need to do this, do that, because he said with women wanted women, he said what they wanted to hear. And think about that. And then look at him. He on the couch sitting there with that woman with the bonnet on her head, all busted out. Now, honey, Dora probably couldn't find Derek Jackson. I ain't seen him nowhere. Have y'all seen him anywhere? I haven't. So it goes back to what I was saying. You gotta watch who people are taking advice from. Okay? Because that type of advice is keeping people by themselves. That's all I'm saying. You know, a lot of women didn't like Kevin Samuels. But actually, Kevin Samuels was trying to help. He was trying to point out stuff that maybe you did not hear as you were growing up. But that's the thing with a lot of women, right? We only want to hear stuff that makes us feel good. Everything ain't supposed to make you feel good. Some things, like the truth, is not supposed to make you feel good. I'm sorry. That is not the way life is set up. It's not. It is not set up like as a fairy tale. And I think we need to be more real with different things. If we're going to have the discussion, let's lay it out online. What do you think? Do you think that when Sheriff 7 is saying, make sure he has this and he has that, and also this, ladies, we overvalue ourselves. We make our value way up here. Think about it. Sometimes the truth sets you free. You might not like it, you might not agree with it, but sometimes don't listen just to answer. Sometimes you got to listen to really hear, okay? Everything you're not going to agree with, all right? But look at what's happening in society. That's all I'm saying. Look around you. Look at your family reunions. Look at all the women that are single. Look at all the women that are by themselves. Like really look at that. Take that in. That's not a good thing. So when you got your sinner and your saints, and your Kevin Samuels, and your Stacey Princes, okay? You might not like their delivery, but one thing I learned about men a lot of times, women don't like to tell other women the truth. They like to sugarcoat it or say they gonna take the fifth. And that's the difference from men and women sometimes. Not me. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. Let me know what you think about this video.